By the time most riders call themselves experienced, they stop worrying about crashing. That's when the real danger starts. Because the habits that take out seasoned riders in 2025 aren't beginner mistakes. They're the things riders do because they think they know better. They've ridden for years, they've survived close calls, they've built confidence, and that confidence quietly turns into shortcuts. What's scary is that many of these habits used to make sense years ago, but bikes are different now, roads are different, traffic is different, even rider tech has changed. So today, we're breaking down 11 experienced rider habits that are actually dumb in 2025, not because riders are stupid, because the game has changed. And the first one starts before the bike even moves. But to understand why experienced riders are getting caught out more than ever, we need to talk about what confidence does to the brain. Habit 1. Riding like traffic hasn't changed. Experienced riders often ride like it's still 2010. Same spacing, same assumptions, same expectations that drivers will probably see me. But traffic today is different. Drivers are distracted in ways they never were before. Phones, screens, navigation systems, notifications. Experienced riders trust patterns they learned years ago, and that trust is outdated. They assume eye contact means awareness. They assume turn signals mean intention. They assume cars will move predictably. That assumption works until it doesn't. Modern traffic commands more margin, not less. And riders who don't update their spacing and escape planning are gambling with every intersection. And this leads directly into a habit that feels smart, but actually removes your last line of defense. Habit 2. Overusing engine braking instead of real braking. Engine braking feels controlled, it feels smooth, it feels advanced, but relying on it too much in 2025 is a mistake. Modern bikes have powerful brakes and advanced ABS for a reason. Engine braking is helpful, but it doesn't activate brake lights and it doesn't communicate urgency to traffic behind you. Experienced riders slow down quietly and get surprised from behind. They also forget that modern braking systems are designed to be used. Avoiding the brakes out of habit means giving up stopping power you already paid for. The smartest riders blend engine braking with progressive braking. The dumb habit is thinking engine braking alone makes you better. And that mindset shows up again in corners. Habit 3. Carrying corner speed just to prove you can. Experienced riders love smooth corners, and that's fine. But in 2025, carrying extra speed into blind corners is a gamble, not a skill flex. Road conditions change faster now. Construction, gravel, oil, random debris. Experienced riders trust memory over visibility. I've ridden this road 100 times. That's the problem. Roads don't remember you. Smart riders treat every blind corner like something unexpected is waiting. Dumb riders ride on reputation and muscle memory. And that overconfidence doesn't stop at speed, it shows up in gear too. Habit 4. Downgrading gear because I know my limits. Experienced riders love comfort. They switch to lighter gloves, casual jackets, low-profile protection, because they aren't riding crazy anymore. But crashes don't care about your riding style. Low-speed incidents still tear through skin. Unexpected slides still happen close to home. In 2025, there's no excuse. Protective gear is lighter, cooler, and more comfortable than ever. Riding underprotected isn't confidence, it's nostalgia. And this mindset gets worse when tech enters the picture. Habit 5. Trusting rider aids too much. ABS, traction control, cornering modes. Experienced riders often trust these systems more than their own skills. They brake harder because ABS exists. They roll on throttle earlier because traction control will handle it. But rider aids are assistants, not saviors. They work within limits. They can't change physics, and they don't fix bad decisions. The dumb habit isn't using rider aids, it's letting them replace fundamentals. And nowhere is this more obvious than with throttle control. Habit 6. Being lazy with the throttle because you've got it dialed. Experienced riders don't think about the throttle anymore. That's the problem. Modern bikes are more sensitive than ever. Ride-by-wire systems respond faster, sharper, and less forgivingly than older setups. Small mistakes now have bigger consequences. Experienced riders sometimes roll on mid-corner without realizing how much input they're giving. They trust feel instead of precision. Smooth riders stay smooth because they stay intentional. Dumb habits form when attention fades, and attention fades fastest during the most boring part of riding. Habit 7. Relaxing too much on straight roads. Straight roads feel safe. That's why so many incidents happen there. Experienced riders loosen up. They scan less. They assume nothing will change. But straight roads are where lane changes, sudden stops, and distractions happen most. The dumb habit is treating straight roads like downtime. Smart riders stay mentally sharp when things feel boring, because boring is when surprises hit hardest. And speaking of spacing, Habit 8. Riding too close because you read traffic better now. Experienced riders close gaps. They feel comfortable riding closer to cars because they believe they can read behavior better. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. Modern vehicles stop faster. Drivers react slower. Traffic patterns are less predictable. Closing distance removes reaction time you can never get back. The dumb habit isn't confidence, it's shrinking your buffer. And nowhere is that buffer more important than in the lane itself. Habit 9. Using the same lane position everywhere. Experienced riders pick a favorite lane position and stick to it. Left third, always. But lane positioning is situational, not personal preference. Oil collects differently. Visibility changes constantly. Escape routes shift every few seconds. The smart move is dynamic positioning. The dumb habit is static riding. And this rigidity carries into group riding too. Habit 10. Riding group pace instead of personal pace. Experienced riders hate being the slow one, so they ride at the group's pace even when conditions change. They don't want to break formation. They don't want to be that rider. But group pace ignores individual reaction time, fatigue, and focus. Smart riders ride their own margins even in groups. And finally, the habit that ties all of this together. Habit 11. Believing experience makes you safer by default. Experience helps, but only if it stays updated. The most dangerous riders aren't beginners. They're riders who stopped learning. They rely on instincts built for a different era of bikes, roads, and traffic. They survive close calls and call it skill. They avoid consequences and call it proof. But safety in 2025 isn't about how long you've ridden. It's about how often you question your habits. And that realization brings everything full circle. Most experienced rider habits don't come from arrogance. They come from comfort. Comfort turns into shortcuts, shortcuts turn into assumptions, and assumptions break when the world changes. The smartest riders in 2025 aren't the fastest or the flashiest. They're the ones who constantly update how they ride. Because experience doesn't protect you. Adaptation does. And the riders who understand that are the ones who keep riding long after everyone else has run out of luck.